What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday over here. It's time to go ahead and get some. The markets are alive. So much looking forward to going over this session with you all today. Really, it's going to be a good one. I have some interesting stuff prepared to go over with you on the precious metals. We're going to take a look at that. Yesterday's afternoon update. Thank you, Gemma. I did also very much appreciate that. Again, why I share this work with you, it benefits myself. And then also we have this beautiful relationship. The more I'm able to share what I've learned and what I know, the more I'm able to help all of you go ahead and increase your game. Then the more that I get to share off of that. We have a perfect case of that this morning. Gary over here. I'm going to share Gary's Twitter over here this morning. Gary shared with me a couple of beautiful charts over here with gold. We're going to take a look at it. Really helped make it clear. I really appreciated his chart work. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start off with that, actually. Let's start off with that. If you remember yesterday's afternoon video, I was talking about here, we had the 10-year inverse yield all-time or lows over here. And you could see over here that gold is tracking it, right? It's not all-time. It's right off the all-time low, right? The all-time low cut it over the summer in July. But we are, again, headed in that trajectory. And gold was separating. I said these alligator jaws are going to soon shut. And it looks like we're getting a sign of that today. I showed this chart of global negative yielding debt. I showed over here that debt in red over here climbing. Bitcoin, of course, we know is climbing, doing its own thing over here. But gold was lagging a little bit. Over here, you can see we're now at $18.3 trillion of global negative yielding debt. This is what I talk about when I talk about gold fundamentally here is in a bull market. And over here, you can see over here, keep them flying. If the free world's got you shook, keep them flying over here. Over here, you can see since February, the central banks, their balance sheets have increased by over $8 trillion. I've talked about what's coming next year as the G10, this is the G7, have 315 billion, right? That's every 3 months, another $1 trillion of global debt in QE coming. Let's see what Gary put together over here, right? Just step back here from our gold chart. He has going back a couple of years, and you could see over here this beautiful, 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 beautiful chart over here. You all remember these lines we had over here? This one over here, my mouse is tracking. And then someone in the live stream was like, add in the one down over here, and we all did all that. For those of you that don't remember, look what Gary has over here. This is a classic and a beautiful bull flag developing in the gold market over here. Do you remember over here? Watch over here, because we all know the trigger is one of two. The trigger is breaking out the resistance to the upside over there. Look over here. That's coming in somewhere around. Where's my mouse? Right? My mouse right is somewhere around. Let's call it 1914, the gold line. Right? Now, Gary's chart work is much better. This gives me a much clearer. We're going to zoom in 1 second. Here you can see it over here. 1914 coming up right around here. He has 1911 resistance over here, right? You could see that once we break out of that bull flag to the upside, that's when this should really take off. Couple of things that I want to focus in on over here is the other entry is what I want to say. The other entry, by the way, whenever you're playing a bull flag, it could also be off the support. When you get a resumption off the support, by the way, clone this line over here, bring it back a little bit, and you're cloning and you're coming in and connecting this area over here. But if you come off the support, or if we get another chance off the support, that's going to be the long-term gold players, something to lean off of, something to look to accumulate off of. And then for the swing traders, again, 1914 is going to be really when this thing breaks out to the upside, and that's when we can gain the momentum. I said yesterday in yesterday's video, we get above this blue box over here, right? We had resistance that we're trading into this morning, right into that resistance. Get above here, could we start the aggressive? I said could start looking for preemptive, conquering the market entries. That still remains the case. I think the market is really going to start talking about stimulus. We have now President-elect Biden confirmed yesterday. And we also saw Putin extending the congratulations to him. That was nice to see. Look, we don't know who's going to win the Georgia runoff, but if that turns blue, the amount of expected stimulus could be quite enormous. We're going to see, I believe, a new push to this quote-unquote green energy push movement. By the way, that could greatly benefit silver, as silver is needed in the solar panels. I said yesterday in yesterday's afternoon update, I believe we could be looking in 2021 at silver making new all-time highs. Not taking out the 2020 yearly high over here close to $30, but all-time highs above 50. Gold, I expect in 2021 also goes to make new all-time highs. But watch this. You want to take the trade when the momentum is with you, right? You want to put your troops to work when they're actually going to be active. This is getting lining up now. We're going to keep paying attention to it. So again, just for those looking for entries, the aggressive could take it once we break out above this blue box, above 1860. That's opening up, looking for a retest and a resumption. Is it an aggressive entry? Yes. When does it start getting safe? Above 1914. Silver, on the other hand, though, has opened up a little bit of a different trade, right? I was saying watch out for 2430. Once we clear above that, that does open up aggressive entries towards the upside. Now, it still remains the same. Above 26 is the very easy. When I say easy, I hope you all understand there's nothing easy about trading. There's nothing easy at all about the markets, right? This is the trade you're looking for. Once we get above 26 at that point, by the way, that's where we did. That was the last local, the swing high we put in was over at 26 resistance as well. That resistance level came off of this area of support. Before we came into that level, that line was there. That remains once we get above there. That's the equivalent over on gold to 1914. That's when I think we really run towards the 2020 yearly high. But right now, you have a possibility for an aggressive entry on silver if we're able to come in and retest this level over here and resume off of it. Now, it doesn't have to happen this session over here. We can continue to make higher highs over here, come into this area right around 2470, and then look for the pullback and then the resumption. Patience is what pays. Patience is what pays in the market. By the way, I'm using a different bit of resolution this morning. How does that look for anyone? Can tell me if that looks okay. or if I should go back to the other one. Brandon, what's going on, my brother? So let's keep going over here. The DXY this morning, I'm going to get into the indexes in a second. The DXY continues to just be over, just consolidating here off of yearly lows over here. And look, what are we doing? This I saw on Forex Live this morning. Forex Live this morning says seasonally between the 15th of December and the end of the year is historically a very, very weak time of year for the dollar. Seasonalities tend to work. It's worth paying attention to. We follow obviously what's going on in the chart, and we're looking over here as we're just consolidating here at the yearly low. Obviously, if we break down, let's see what we're targeting, right? We're targeting, wow, 88.40. That could be a big drop over here if we do break down. We do have a lot of supply over here to work our way through. It's not going to be a quick drop, I don't think. But could we possibly, by the end of the year, be targeting 88.40? Are we going to see the narrative turn to stimulus? Yesterday afternoon, Nancy Pelosi contacted Secretary Mnuchin and said, listen, the obstacles we have before passing this package, I guess now that Biden has been confirmed president-elect, look, they could be worked through. It's not a problem. So watch out for that, right? I know a lot of people are looking for a reversal in the dollar because they're always looking for reversals to pick bottoms. Watch out. We have definitive lines over here. Here's Brad's chart over here. Let me pull it up over here. Here's Brad's chart. Not until we break above 92.50. The outer bound of this trend line over here, that would be when we were looking for some type of dollar counter trend move, and we would be involved in that. That's not happening right now. Let's take a look at the indexes over here. The S&P 500 we looked at yesterday afternoon, and it was maintaining in this channel area over here, right? Someone mentioned, listen, Jordan, I'm looking actually, because I pointed out the trade. I said, look, I'm not going to take it. But someone else pointed out, listen, the entry CCI is way oversold. As we come into the support of the channel, I'm going to be looking for it. Well done, right? You got yourself into a good entry. At this point over here, you're into a little bit of local resistance. Is it time already to lock that trade in? I would nurse it. I would be very protective of it personally. Let's see what the Nasdaq is doing this morning as it's coming up over here. Look at this beautifulness, right? I do remember it was yesterday morning over here as the Nasdaq was into resistance. I pointed out it was in resistance. And then those down thumbs started flying, right? Everyone seems to not. Anyway, here we are. We were rejected by the resistance, came into that local support, that horizontal support at 12,440. I don't know why these magic lines always work, but they do. And then now we're resuming off of it, coming back above this trend line over here. This sets up very, very positive momentum here for the indexes. Let's look at the Dow and Russell just to see exactly what they're doing. Not as nice, but over here, look at that resistance. Follow the mouse over. That is actually some nice bit of support. I didn't have it on my chart. The market is showing it to me now. Let me just add it in over here for sure, right? And then what else do we have on the Russell? It never lost. It never lost its bullish technical nature over here. The Nasdaq was the only one, right, that broke down a little bit when we looked below this trend line over here. It then was rejected off there and has since repaired the damage. This, by the way, was after the Supreme Court decided not to hear the Texas case. And then after that, we also got the Brexit out of the way. Those are near-term risks. Of course, there are many, many, many risks facing the market, right? But look, again, everyone knows I'm over here, living over here on the 8-hour. I'm looking at what's in front of us. I'm not focused on what's down the line so much. Now, on the bigger picture, I'm starting now because let's talk about it. Let's call it as it is, because as it is, right? Do you remember over here, right? What was I like over here in this area? Like, listen, no one could short the market. You cannot short the market. Right? Remember that? And it was all the way into the first week of August where I was like, all right, now it's time we've met our objectives. And this whole time you had people talking about insolvency. We've gone through this phase, and now we're in the hope phase, and now we're in the insolvency. Like, timing is everything. These macro guys that are off by several months and or years, how do you do it, right? How do you like put on that hat and be like, anyway, Now I'm starting to be concerned about possible solvency issues in 2021. Okay, not over here, but yes, over here. Now it's starting to be something that is on my radar. I am watching out for it. The reason I mentioned because we're talking about market risks, right? I do believe, right? The housing market scares me. And it's not just the renters, it's not just those holding mortgages who aren't able to pay them, it's also the landlords, right? Because if they're not being paid rent, how are they supposed to pay their mortgage? It's a terrible situation. I expect sometime very soon we're going to see these lawmakers come together and put together some type of package, and I hope there's some type of relief. If there's not, we could see a devastation in the housing market in 2021. It's something I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is that they want to actually cause pain, so that they could implement UBI and all these other, and they want everyone dependent on the government. That's the bottom line, right? This is why we're seeing all these 48% of small businesses are expected to close in 2021. That's absolutely astonishing. So I'm worried about solvency. It's going to be in the back of my mind, just letting you know what's going on in my head. But I'm focused over here on, obviously, price action and the technicals. Let's take a look this morning over at WTI. First of all, if you don't follow Chai Girl on Twitter, who is an oil expert, energy expert, I highly recommend it. She's a good follow, Chai Girl. And here we go. People are saying right now that this is off of the weak dollar that you're seeing oil rise. I don't think so. I personally, she didn't agree with that, but I think the reason is because it is QE, right? There's a bunch of money slushing around and it needs to go somewhere. Where is it going? QE is uber asset inflationary. I know you have people all day long telling you it's deflationary. It's simply not the truth, right? These people are simply mistaking, and just because they go on Real Vision doesn't mean they know anything. It just means that they're friends and in the club. Here we go. Let's take a look at Bitcoin this morning. We put out a nice update on TradingView. It was the first time. I hope you all enjoyed that. I am going to start posting regularly on TradingView in 2021. I believe that those updates could be helpful. Specifically, anything I green flag in the afternoon, I want to go ahead and start producing some updates for to be able to update you later on. Now, I don't know exactly when that's going to start, right? Because it might not start towards the latter end of January. We'll figure it out, though, as it comes. Let's take a look at what's going on Bitcoin over here. Last night, the bulls were running over here as we resumed out of this. Everyone knows what was happening over here. After breaking above the triangle, we were consolidating in that bull flag. We broke out above, and the bulls were running, right? They came right into that last bit of area over here, that little bit of local resistance. Alan was mentioning that huge sell wall over here, right around 20,000, and then price has backed off. Let's take a look at it. Let me clean up my chart over here. Price has backed off, but you can see over here our trend line has held. You can see our trend line has held over there. What trend line is that? Everyone should be familiar with it. I'll just pull back to the 3-day. This, by the way, is the prime trend line over here that I put in. And then we've cloned it on the way up. Look at that market structure. It's absolutely beautiful. Here's another clone line. Look at the points that it touches connecting these lines over here. Look at that. And this is this one over here, right? And you can see right now that we are holding above it. Obviously, enormously bullish over here. What are we looking at? Always be aware of the downside. I was on a call with a friend last night, and he's telling me that he exited Bitcoin at 19,000, and my jaw dropped. I was like, "You did what? You exited Bitcoin? Why would you exit Bitcoin? Right? The bull market is just beginning. What are you doing? Right? Oh well, I'm gonna try to time it. And come on, man. You gotta be participating. On the downside, what are we watching out for? If we break below this trend line over here, which is acted as support, right? That would be a worrisome signal. That would be looking for then at least a correction down towards this trend line over here, just below the 17,000. If that did not hold, we're looking at a much bigger correction at 13,800. If you feel that you could time Bitcoin, go ahead and get yours. Good luck with it. I do consider myself an expert, and I'm not trying to time it. Good luck, but I'm going to walk away at the end of this bull market with a massive amount of gains. I don't know what you're going to walk away with. Maybe some XRP. Someone, big shout out over there to the Bronx, right? But you know, listen, when I talk about XRP, right, I'm giving it real, right? Because each and every one of you are important to me. This is trading and investing. And if you're investing in XRP, you better understand that Ripple, the parent company, their business plan is to sell XRP to you to fund their company. But Ripple has all of these partners. Yeah, but not that's Ripple and XRP are different. Ripple is the company. XRP is the token they use to fund their company. Be very, very careful. Yes, I do say it could rip, right? It could rip to the upside. And the reason I talk about these unnatural rips is because this is unnatural. You only see this on Ripple, these rips. Look at all these rips, right? These rips. And each time there's a rip, what happens? Ripple comes in and sells their token, unloads them to you, right? So here's what's happening again right now. If you're trading this, and if you're trading for the rip, that's fine, but then you shouldn't be holding it right now. That's not CTM all day long. We don't hold things like that. We are very, very risk management minded right over here. This looks ugly over here right now, right? You are into some support after breaking down out of that triangle. Not only did you break out of the triangle, you came in for the retest and then resumed off of it. You're into an area of support right now. If this holds, great. If it doesn't, oh my goodness, watch out. But over here is the signal. If you're looking to get long again, it's above this trend line over here, right? Wait for it. Do not think, oh, it's going above this trend line eventually, so I'm going to get in here now. Because if we lose this support, you're going to feel a load of pain. That's not how we do it. I'm looking to protect you. If you're here right now, I consider you my own. I'm here to protect you. All right. So what else? By the way, I'm going to just pause 1 second, take a sip of matcha, and just really ask you really quick. And Walter, absolutely. We're going to finish here on crypto right now because I want to see what's going on. I want to get a feel. Bitcoin now unchanged on the day. And then I'm going to really cover FX, first going over everything I flagged yesterday and then through the rest of the market. I have a question whether or not the resolution looks okay. You think that's funny? Hey, look, the guy thinks that's hysterical, right? He thinks that's funny. You laughing out loud, buddy? Yeah, that's funny. It's the truth, right? Whether you are not used to people on the internet caring about you, that's fine. Right? Everyone here in this room who hears every day, no, that's as genuine as it comes. So there you go. All right. So what do I think of Mt. Gox? I don't think anything of it. I'm not worried about that. I don't consider that a market risk, Carlo. I don't consider that a market risk at all. I don't think that there's going to be a release. If there's a release, I do believe there is I do believe two things. There's an enormous amount. There's a demand problem, a supply problem here on Bitcoin, right? That Bitcoin is going to be eaten up. Number two, I don't think anyone who owned Bitcoin in 2013 or 2012, I don't remember, when Mt. Gox went under, anyone who got their Bitcoin back, I don't think they're going to sell it. Of course, there are a certain amount of people who need to, for whatever reason, to eat. But anyone who understands Bitcoin is not selling right now. I don't consider that a market risk. I consider that a little bit of FUD. All right. So let me see what's going on over here. I want to look in. Looks great. Thank you. Good, Alan. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Let's keep going over here. Let's finish out what's going on because as you've seen, it's Tuesday. The flow on Tuesday is always pretty good. And there we go. We're flowing, right? So we see right over here. This is where my eyes were drawn to. This is the big level right over here. It's right now at 1344. Does everyone see it? 1344. Get above that. That's the time to start putting your troops to work on Chainlink, right? That's when I think if we get above 1345, I do think if we get above 1345, that we're going to test again 1650 really quickly. And not only that, probably this time it breaks. All right. So, but that doesn't mean get in now, right? That means wait until you get the signal. This is probably the one thing I'm going to focus on right now. The most important thing is timing. The most important thing is timing. You cannot get the timing right unless you have patience. All right? Have a talk with yourself after you get off this live stream today. By the way, all CTM, we have a live training session after this live stream over here today. The other thing that could happen, we are in this bit of a range right over here between 1143 and 1345. If we come back down here, right, resume off of it, that's a place to nibble into chain link. That's also pretty decent support. Let's check out Ethereum to see what it's doing over here. Ethereum consolidating after the break. Looks nice and looks healthy over here for sure. Ethereum is very similar to Bitcoin. As long as we hold above this trend line over here, everything looking extremely bullish. This all looks very bullish right now on Ethereum. Was talking to the Conquering the Markets group yesterday, just saying, watch out. Watch out in case we do see any type of regulation passed by the U.S. Treasury going into the end of the year regarding self-hosting. Other people didn't think it was such a big risk. Just watch out. Always be aware of the risk, right? What else are we looking at over here? Let's take a look at boom, 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 boom. Ethereum, Bitcoin, I also said because of that risk, I would stay away from this trade right now. But we are coming back into this area of support, a resumption off of here that does bring up another long entry. You can see the trend line right there. Let's get into FX. Let's see what's going on over there. By the way, damn remote meeting. Language is so important though, brother. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it vessel. We don't want to at any time be damning anything, right? We want to be blessing everything. We want to be bringing goodness into our life at all times. You're a trader? Isn't timing your whole game? Absolutely. One of our greatest strengths, one of our greatest edges, right? There we go. Brooklyn, not the Bronx. Yeah, brother, I'm so glad I caught that comment because this is the first time I turned on the comments all session over here as I've just been flowing and spitting, right? Brooklyn. I have to say, I've spent some time in the South Bronx and I've also spent some time in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's and some tough folk out in the Brooklyn area over there, but beautiful. Anyway, let's keep going over here. I just want to take a look over here at Kips Nickel is up again. Let's take a look, as yesterday it was into a bit of a resistance. It's holding above that resistance, right? This is the one to watch out for, the lower one. This is not yet a retest. We haven't yet started putting in any lower highs over here. That's what I would be looking for a retest. Over here, we are very extended, breaking into the resistance. Timing is everything. Wait for that pullback. You see Palladium over here today jumping up, but into the resistance. I don't know, man. Why these lines seem to work. Palladium still has that negative technical structure here until it breaks back into that area over there. So it is lagging. Be careful. Let's take a look over here. There was platinum or palladium was in the news yesterday. The largest mine in the world, because of Corona, went under. They ceased operations. And I'm not sure which it was, though. So there we go. Look at this. This is platinum now. And this is now resuming or trying to resume out of this breakout above the resistance, the retest. And now it's trying to resume out of there. And copper is all the way at 350 now, maintaining above there. I don't know. I think gold and silver are about to shine. Usually when gold and silver go on to their run, you do see the industrial metals then consolidate. When gold and silver come off, you see the industrial metals then go on. There's a nice dance between the two. So that's something to keep in mind over there. Did Apple take out our swing high yet? Let's take a look over here and see what's going on with Apple. It's coming into it right now. This is messy, but I hope you all understand what's going on over here. You can see over here, right? This is when I was like exit the trade. And if we get back above that resistance we're coming into, that opens up the upside. That's kind of flowing in conjunction with what we got going on the Nasdaq. Now that we're taking out resistance, it's the retest and the resumption that gives the entry on the Nasdaq. I did not or was not. I'm not even looking for an entry on equities right now. But that would be for the day traders ones over here, the highly aggressive ones. I wasn't involved in that. Let's take a look at FX. We're going to start with the Australian dollar, Japanese yen over here. So this is a little bit worrisome to me right now. This is a little bit worrisome to me right now in the fact that here I have this consolidation pattern. We've broke down out of it. That is a negative sign for me. I'm actually going to be exiting my full position from over here right now. I'm going to be, since we've broken down out of over here, if we get back above the 78.50 resistance, I may look to re-enter. I may not. It depends what's available at the time. But this over here, the breakdown over here, that just has me cautious, because what happens next usually is what? Breakdown, retest, resumption. So I just prefer to be out, take some off the table, and keep going about my day. I don't, Jeff. There's nothing I could add to the conversation over there that would be helpful for you at all. Wait, so is it CG is looking for some interaction today? CG is looking to poke. So is timing everything, or can you not time these things? Which is it? I don't understand, CG. CG, I'm not following you at all, and you're not following me, so we're not going to get into it, right? I never said anything like that. I said timing is everything, right? And I didn't say you can't time it. What do you mean you can't time it? Where you CG, brother? Take a deep breath, take a walk, but don't bring that stuff towards me. I don't want any type of negative energy in my life. I'll just cut anyone off like that. I don't want it. I don't need it. You know, I just, you know what? Life is beautiful. Life is a gift. You only get one life. Let's make the best of it, right? Let's surround ourselves with positive, supportive people looking with that growth mindset to better themselves, right? If you're looking to argue, if you're looking to debate, if you're looking to I'm not going to debate you. And if you want to sit down and debate with me, come on, man. You're done. So let's do it. All right. So here we go. All right, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, right? Maintaining above this support over here, continues to look good over here, but we are just consolidating. I'm just on the side. I want to figure out all these flags over here. I didn't take any new entries overnight, and I am exiting as soon as I get off over here in the second, my Australian dollar, Japanese yen position. So pound Australian dollar, I was looking for a rejection over here of that resistance. It didn't happen. Actually, the pound is bid this morning over here. That's a signal to pay attention to. Let's step back for a second. Over here. We're now entering this consolidation pattern as the Brexit has been extended. It is obviously a market risk, again, down the line. It's been the EU's plan all along to try to get them to extend it as much as possible. They've been successful now for 3 years, right? So here we go over here, and we're back into this area of consolidation. What does that mean, right? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out with you right now. We have a little bit bigger of an area of resistance right above us, right? That's one that's important to get above. I guess what I'm trying to figure out if I would be interested in here in buying now that we're getting back into this consolidation, and not at all. Let me check out the pound New Zealand dollar, which was the other one. And again, that little bit of local resistance did not hold. We're back above it. I'm not interested at all. The pound Japanese yen was the one that I said I would be interested in going long, right? So that's all the way up here above 139.80. I guess what I'm getting at is I'm not interested at all in the pound. And that's what I was trying to figure out. What about on the pound US dollar? So if I go long, if I do decide to go long on the pound, it's going to be against the pound. It's going to be against the US dollar or the Japanese yen. If I go short against the pound, it's going to be versus the Australian dollar or New Zealand dollar, right? That's what I gather from all this. But the pound US dollar, watch out. This is actually coming into an area to keep watching over here. Get above this area. That's a big trend line break. I like to be involved in those trades. That's something I want to keep tracking. So the pound Japanese yen, pound US dollar, something to keep watching, but they still need a breakout here. The pound US dollar, that's clear as day. The pound Japanese yen, just to focus in on, that's above this area over here. Then we get going over there. All right, let me see what else is going on here on the New Zealand dollar pairs, right? Oof, rejected at the resistance. That's interesting, right? Let me go ahead and flip that over to resistance, right? Boom, boom. All right, rejected at resistance, right? Interesting. And New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. New Zealand dollar feeling the heat. By the way, I forgot to look at the calendar with you. We have, out of the euro, any euro traders, be careful. We have high impact news event coming out with the PMIs, right? And then we also have tomorrow FOMC. I imagine I imagine they're going to be ultra dovish, right? That tends to be the way. That could be an event for the dollar. Nevertheless, those are two things to be paying attention to. Let's come back over here. Ooh, so listen, 2021 is fast approaching, right? I talked about in 2021, one of the things that I will be implementing will be regular trading view updates. Another thing that I'm going to be doing in 2021 is I'm going to be working on an automated system over here. One that I worked at, it was many years ago. It must have been about 5 years ago. I spent a lot of time working on it. It's trading off the 1 minute time frame. It trades frequently and a lot. I'm going to be I'm just letting you know. I'll keep you updated with it. I'm going to be I'll show you what I'm doing as I'm working on what I'm doing. But I'm going to be spending a lot of time going back to that system. So anyway, New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. Don't like it down over here. Look, it broke below this. See that little bit of local support? Broke below it. There's nothing bearish whatsoever, right? But it's not looking so hot over here. I'm wondering if there's a trend line, but I don't see it. I just want to check it out really quick, right? I don't see it, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is there. That's as clear as day. Let me go ahead and make that a little bit darker over here for us. I didn't think it was going to be. I mean, that's as clear as day, right? The market is obviously paying attention to that. Let's see if we get another test into that. That would be a place to look for the long. Break below it and break below this area of support over here, the horizontal support. That's a big deal. That would obviously be looking for a bigger pullback. And for whatever reason, we might be seeing a little bit of yen bid. So anyway, that's something to keep watching for me over here, at least. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's check it out. You know, right over here, back into this horizontal support. We got, I don't know. That's not clear for me. Let me go ahead and remove these flags now. Let's see what's going on. So I do want to reflag this though. Let me go back to the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. This I want to flag on. I want to keep tracking this and watching this. If we come back even today, if we come back towards this trend line over here and then, you know, into the Asian session and resume off of it, that is 100% an entry that I will be tracking and watching. I want to go ahead. I don't want to flag this because we have a lot of work to do, but the pound US dollar, I want to keep watching. I don't want to flag it yet because we're not above it. But all right. So there we go. Let me see what else is going on in the markets today. Let me check in with you what's going on over there. A link to my see. I don't for which chart is all different, Miguel. Right? I could share you a link to my chart, but it only shows the chart that I'm looking at. So here it is, though. CG, brother, I guess you're having a bad day. That's all cool. I'm not gonna like go at you then. That's for sure. But listen, like, just everyone, not just CG, everyone, just watch your language in here. You know, my 7-year-old was telling me that she's gonna be watching all my videos one day, learning about the markets, and just for everyone. But listen, CJ, let's just let it go. Let's just start over, right? Am I giving it to macro investors who are on the wrong side of the trade for several months? 100%. Do they deserve it? 100%. Right? So what? Right? Do I think that the delay in breaking, Samuel, there is no lengthening cycle, right? I know that there's someone, right? There's some like nuclear physicist or something that is like, we're having a lengthening cycle. There is no lengthening cycle. This cycle is going to be shorter than the last, right? There is no lengthening cycle, right? And is there a delay in breaking above 20K? No, 20K is not the line to break above, right? Let's check it out really quick. Let's talk about this really quick. I'm going to go over here to the 3-day time frame. I'm just coming back to this past cycle over here just to show you what happened. And right, this is where we are today. This is where we are today, right over here in the last cycle, trading into the all-time highs, but the last cycle did not make new all-time highs. We had a 30% pullback, And then sometime after, right, another month later, we made it to new all-time highs. This cycle actually is different in the fact that as we tested the last all-time high, we came back and pulled off 16.5%. And not a month later, a week later, we made new all-time highs, right? It's not 20,000. 20,000 is not even a thing. 20,000 is just a psychological number for people because it's a round number. But the all-time high was not 20,000. It depends on what exchange you're looking at. Over here on Bitstamp, it's, call it 19,600. We've already taken out the all-time high. This cycle is unfolding quicker than the last. It's not unfolding as quick as the first, and it's not unfolding as quick as as long as the second. It's in between the two, right? The projected end date for this cycle is September 21st. It's shorter than the last cycle, okay? So just ask yourself, so what I'm getting at is every indication is showing that this is unfolding quicker. There's no reason to think that the cycle is lengthening. 20,000 is nothing. It's meaningless. It's just a round number. It has nothing to do with any type of TA whatsoever. And you have to ask yourself, at what point do you realize that the lengthening cycle theory, it's a theory, there's no data to prove that the cycles are lengthening, that it's wrong. But, that's one thing that I'm confident in, that there's no way we're seeing lengthening cycles at all. So anyway, he's just dead wrong. I took actually 15 minutes to entertain his theory. It's just dead wrong. There's nothing else to say about that. But what I would like everyone to know and understand, when is he proven wrong? Do we have to wait to the end of the cycle? Okay, then that's fine. Then he'll be proven wrong. I guarantee the same people that were paying attention will be paying attention to whatever else he's saying then. I tend to pay attention to people who have a history of being correct, and that's right, and that's all. All right. So what else are we looking at over here? Let's keep going over here. Let's look at FX over here and keep it going. It's been a good session, right? Getting a lot out of it. Enjoying it. We only have, wow. We have a lot less people in here than normal, 1,000, but we have a lot more likes in proportion to people. I hope you all are enjoying the session. And if you are, go ahead and share some love with me. Let's get this going and smash that like button over here today. All right. Thank you. It does really, really help support the channel, and it really does help me know that you care. So I do appreciate that. Let's take a look at the markets over here. Cross pairs have been out of play. Let's see what's going on over here. Do you see the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar here looking to resume off this support into that range? It's a good trade, right? If you get the signal, if you get the new high over here, which could be happening any minute, it's a good trade because you have a nice risk reward coming right into the resistance. It's actually very attractive, something to think about, right? Your risk is capped. I would have a very tight stop loss on this one over here. And not only that, just coming into the resistance, you have a better than a 1-to-1. It's a good looking trade. Australian dollar, Swiss franc coming into that should be resistance over here. Let me go ahead and flip that over here. Boom. All right, so that's not something to watch. Australian dollar, Japanese yen, I told you, it just now gave a negative technical breakdown. I'm going to exit. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, right? Climbing above. So Australian dollar is stronger than the Canadian dollar, stronger than the New Zealand dollar today. But in my mind, it looks better on the Canadian dollar. Australian dollar, US dollar, still looks good. There's no play over here today. I'm going to just keep brushing through them today to find out what's going on, to see if any. So listen, big heads up. Tomorrow is a big day, right? FOMC day, big day for the markets. It's the biggest event of the week. And also the PMIs out of Europe, right? Ask yourself, is this a night that you want to be trading? Cross pairs might be the way to go. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, definitely something to consider right now. Euro, Australian dollar, what's going on? We got strength for strength battling out over here. You got a rejection here at this resistance, but have not resumed down off of it. Yeah, you have. You resumed down right there. Let me just go ahead and turn that to resistance. I don't see the trade, so I'm not going to spend more time with it. Here's another cross pair. I'm kind of interested in crosses today. Euro, Canadian dollar. Let me extend this little trend line down. All right, coming into it. So it's nothing there right now. Moving right along. This is interesting. This beautiful flag that continues to develop over here. Something to keep watch over here if we break out to the upside. Not happening right now. Euro, New Zealand dollar. No. There's no wave coming in today, right? There's no wave coming into the markets right now, right? This looks beautiful here as we're seeing the dollar consolidate over here on yearly lows. You're seeing the euro consolidating here on against yearly highs, right? Again, everyone knows we don't play the breakout. We play the resumption, the retest, and resumption. What else? We've looked at the pound pairs. We're going to skip over them. Let's look at some more cross pairs because cross pairs were the only things that could possibly be offering any opportunity today because of what's going on tomorrow. Here we have the New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. New Zealand dollar is weak today. I don't know why. Let me look at the calendar. There's nothing. I don't know why, but the New Zealand dollar is weak today. It's just an observation, right? Just continue to make observations. That's what like feeds the brain. The brain can put everything together. That's it. There's not much going on FX at all. There's no waves at all on FX. That's clarity. That's what it is, right? COMC. There you go. That's what we're looking at. All right. It's back gold and silver this morning. That's why we spent this morning, we spent yesterday afternoon setting that up. Then today they are now acting. We're getting close to triggers. They're not occurring yet, right? We're taking out on silver that important level, 24.32. That could be setting up a trade. Gold continues to lag, but gold actually getting above these important levels as well. Silver could be one of the best trades of 2021. Let's remove Bitcoin aside. No one can compete with Bitcoin. We all know that in 2021. But silver, a very interesting trade, I do believe, in 2021. And I do believe also the industrial metals will continue that bull run that we're seeing. Commodities getting ready to break out over here. Do not listen to people with paper hats on. We are not seeing deflation. We are seeing uber inflationary pressures pick up. 2021 is going to continue to ignite it. Theta. Let's check out Theta. Wow, look at that. Is that a cup and handle, right? Do you see the cup? No, because I'm saying, is that the handle right now? Either which way, boom, look at that resistance. Crypto's a little bit different than other markets in the fact that breakouts tend to really take off, right? You have to make that adjustment when you're trading cryptocurrencies, altcoins, compared to other markets, for example, FX or commodities. Crypto could really get away, right? So what do? That means keep it simple. Keep it simple. What an edge. Take something so complex as the markets where you have almost infinite amount of choices. You get to make all the decisions. You get to decide what you look at, what you consider. Taking something so complicated and complex and simplifying it down, that's genius, right? Keep it simple in when it comes to the cryptocurrency markets. In uptrends, buy off of support. The breakout, you might not get the retest. They might keep going and pumping. Careful. A target, no targets for altcoins. Corn? Corn's Bitcoin, right? Look at and it. By the way, we are seeing the inflation take place, obviously through all of agriculture as well. Right here, you can see it happening in corn. Look, this is obvious. This is actually something that could become very worrisome. Jim Rogers was right. It's not just the agriculture themselves. Farmland is really appreciating in price. Why? Because QE is inflationary. Technology is deflationary, right? But anyway, look at corn. It's consolidating beautiful over here, right? It's consolidating. That's like a little bit of that action. The breakout over there, is that something to play? Looks good. Looks good. Right? Yeah, people are talking about the high premium, right? There is a high premium. People who got in early, got in early. Listen, that's obviously a long-term play. You're looking to play that for the cycle. I don't think you could compare that BITW and also GBTC. GBTC is tracking Bitcoin, whereas obviously the BitW is tracking the top 10, about 75% weighted towards Bitcoin, but those other alts in there are expected to outperform. It's a nice play. It's a nice play. Yeah, I wish. Corn tortillas. You know what? I was always into the flour tortillas because they taste better up until I developed lime. And then for years now, I only eat the corn tortillas. And I've developed the taste for them. They're great, right? We need the corn for the taco shells. You guys are the best. Bringing that. I love it. You guys are the best. We had a short session over today. Listen, let's take a minute here, figure out what's going on the holidays. Let me look at the calendar with you really quick. All right, I'm going to come down over here to this. Right? Listen, this week over here is a fully active week. Those that are active traders, especially in the FX markets, do not trade at all these last 2 weeks of the year. Do not trade at all. I know the indication. You know what? I got this. It's okay. You know, this time is going to be different. No, discipline is everything. You don't trade these last 2 weeks of the year. We will begin looking to trade again over here on this Tuesday the 5th. This Monday, this is when we go to work. This is when we're gonna do a really strong analysis, setting it up, getting back into the flow. Over here, I will be putting out regular updates for sure. We will be live streaming Monday, probably Tuesday morning. It is a travel day for me. That might be the last day of the live streams through the Christmas holidays. And then we'll see. I'll be putting out regular updates over here. But what I want to focus on right now is these last 2 weeks, they're not for trading. All right. What else are we looking at? So I don't think, Dean, it's a risk event. You know, does the possibility exist? Yes. I don't think it's going to be a risk event. Does the possibility exist? Yes. So, and that's through January 20th. It's all possible. It's not looking that way, but it's all possible. Bitcoin is overbought. Okay, let's check out this question over here. Let me pull up Bitcoin as we look at it. All right. Boom, 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 boom. So Bitcoin is overbought on the weekly chart, while in the previous bull market, it came out of the overbought condition in every pullback. Will it keep rising overbought throughout this cycle? I don't know. So listen, this is where Jordan is focused over here, and it's the fact that, listen, in the previous cycle, right, coming into the halving, we had a 30% pullback. This time we had a 20%. Over here, we had another 20% pullback. And then over here, where we had a 30% pullback, so far we only had a 16% pullback, and we've already come out to recover from that. So is this time different? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Do I believe because of the volatility we're going to see on the upside that we see it on the downside too? Yeah. Do I believe we're going to have 30% pullbacks? I do. Right? Does that mean that will occur? No. I've actually changed my mind to consider the possibility and the fact that the market is showing me something different, and we might not have 30% pullbacks. Does that mean that we're not going to have 20% pullbacks? Well, the market is showing us we are having 20% pullbacks. So I would imagine that is something that you could lean into. When I say that you have to be flexible as a trader. You have to have a plan, and then you have to be flexible. My new plan is this. I see something different in the market. Therefore, I'm going to make sure no matter what, I am always fully invested, right? The worst thing that could happen was you tried to get cute and take some profit, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin's trading at 23,000. That's not going to be a good feeling. Understanding the trade and then not participating in it. I will be fully, this is strategy number one on 3 ways to trade the bull market. I will always be fully positioned. Now, as price climbs, and as we do have a 15, 20% pullback, and yes, I'll be expecting 30, but I will be going ahead and adding to positions. Strategy number 2, right? So there you are. I want to make sure that no matter what, I'm fully positioned for the whole run. And as price continues to climb, when we do have pullbacks, I will start adding, not more aggressively, but at shallower pullbacks than I had anticipated. Uranium was the mine that was closed. Uranium was the mine that was closed, right? Let's take a look over here. I mean, listen. So this is coming off of the largest uranium mine being closed down because of the corona. And you could see it skyrocketing, but we don't ever chase price. Plain and simple. We don't ever chase price, right? Done. That's it, right? What happens next? Who knows? You have to let it reset. You have to wait. There's no trade here. There's no trade whatsoever, right? That would be time for profit taking if you were in the trade. Why would Jordan have a Christmas tree? I don't have a Christmas tree, but why wouldn't I have a Christmas tree? I don't have a Christmas tree, but, no, I don't have a Christmas tree set up, but, anyway, I would if I could. Richard, brother, what's going on, man? Thanks for the love. Do appreciate that today. I feel like these next couple of weeks are going to be quite intimate with a lot less of us here as people are working towards their strategies towards their holidays. And I'm excited. I'm still going to spend my time with y'all, right? Thank you, Richard, for that. I do appreciate the love. Thanks, brother. Jordan, thank you so much for your absolutely, JC. Thanks for saying that, man. Thank you. Great analysis. Thank you. And again, just a big shout out to Gary. I'm going to give you his link again on his Twitter. You can say what's up. Thank you. Hi. This is clarity right here. I love clarity. This gives you a really good perspective of what's happening. Bull run, bull flag. We're looking here. 2021 is going to be a big year, I believe, for gold. Let me go ahead and just put Gary's link in here once again. So tacos thing reminds me of pizza, folks. Any thoughts on tacos remind you of pizza? I don't know. The pizza's not so good in Mexico. I live here in Mexico. We love tacos. That's the taco thing. I don't know where your mind's at or what pizza reminds you of, but I'm a New Yorker, so I love pizza, right? Grew up on this stuff. But I only like good pizza. Right now we're doing the taco thing, No, it's not futile. There's very easily on Bitcoin that we could have a pullback towards the $14,000 area. It's very probable. Expect a 30% pull down at any point, at least a 30%, right? A 30% pullback right now. That takes us right now back in towards the area over here. Technically, this was a very strong area. A pullback over to here would actually be very bullish if it does occur in the long term. That's a very strong area with that trend line support, that horizontal support over there. Could it happen? Yes. Is it likely? Not so much after we had the 16% pullback, which we've recovered from. So it's not as likely anymore that will occur. Should you still have orders in there? Of course. Why not? Right? Why not? Why would you not? Right? Because if we trade down there, and it could be a spike, by the way, of course you want to have orders. I would love $14,000 Bitcoin, but I also like $19,000 Bitcoin. Anything under $20,000 is extremely cheap Bitcoin. Anything under $30,000 is cheap Bitcoin. I don't believe in the coming bear market that we trade below $30,000, $35,000 in Bitcoin. Therefore, I consider it to be cheap Bitcoin. Look, as long as we're above this area though right now, everything is uber bullish right now about Bitcoin. After recovering from the drawdown, going on to make new all-time highs, pulling back, resuming out of the triangle, and then coming in for the retest and resuming out. I mean, everything is bullish about Bitcoin. If you're looking for 14,000 Bitcoin, that's something that you should have orders in and look for, in my opinion. Not investment advice, but at the same time, I believe everyone should be fully positioned. I am. That's all. All right, we're going to call it a session only so I could get ready for the training session we're going to be looking at starting in 27 minutes CTM. I will send out an email, and then I will also, arbitrary price pulled out of my head. Digital money, it's meaningless. Arbitrary price pulled out of my head, it's meaningless. Do not use 23,000 as a TP. Let's look at where we have resistance coming in. Right over here, the next resistance is coming in. It's around, I can't get the read on it because on the right of the chart, you see it, yes. I think it's around 21,800. That's the next resistance we're looking for. Does this trend line over here, you guys probably can't see what I'm looking at. Let me go ahead and just make that a little bit darker, all right? That's the next resistance we're looking at over there. That's coming in somewhere around 21,800. Is this trend line over here coming in at 23,000? Maybe, I can't see it right now. I don't know how I could see it. Is there any way I could manipulate this chart so I could see it? Log scale won't give me the correct time. I don't know. But that's an arbitrary number that I just pulled out of my head. Don't pay any mind to that. Jeff, for the training session, I bet Christmas is beautiful in Mexico. It's really weird spending Christmas in a tropical climate for someone who's always spent Christmas in a cold climate. But yeah, it's different. Thank you, Robert. May God bless you too, my brother. When you do another CTM live stream right after this, Jeff, those updates are for Conquering the Markets course members only. That's for those who participate in the private Telegram group, those that are in the CTM community. If you're a member of the course, you're going to receive an email as well as the link will be posted in the Telegram group. Yeah, it's nice, Gary. There's no question about it. I mean, the Pizza Clan, get me Epstein. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go, listen, I'm going to just hold myself back. I'm really trying hard. I feel like right now the world is pretty toxic. Twitter is toxic. I'm not going to bring that toxic environment from here. But listen, if we're going to talk about children, we're going to get into something over here. Children are precious. The innocence of children is precious. I have 6 children. I will die fighting for my children. Let's not talk about that. Let's not joke about that. Let's get off that. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right? Bring that elsewhere. What town in Mexico? That doesn't, listen, everyone, listen, I live in Mexico. I lived here for 8 years. Where I live, that's irrelevant, all right? Listen, tomorrow we'll take a look at it, but right now I got to go prepare for the live session. That's what we're going to do. Why are you in Mexico, nada más for America? No, I love America. I love Mexico. I love America. All right, everyone. Let me go ahead and cue the music. Let's go over here. And then thanks for the session, though, for real. Thanks for the session. Let's go ahead and get this up. Love the music, by the way. Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone. Mike, there's a link below. There's a link below in the description. I'll put the link right here. Carlos, brother, you could use the on the conqueringtrades.com, you could use the web form and just go ahead and send me an email right now. But please do that, Carlos. Send me an email. Check your bulk folders because all the emails are going to your bulk folders. But send me an email and I will go ahead and reply. Use the web form on conqueringtrades.com. You send me an email and I'll give you obviously all the information you need, including the Telegram link, so we can get you into that community, which is absolutely astonishing. Heath, Brandon, Alan, Greg, everybody every day bringing the fire. It's extraordinary. Everyone, I'll see you all this afternoon. I'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day and thank you.